Welcome to Automotors Technica. This is Yogesh here. One of my viewers had requested to show the Windows 10 installation, and I would like to show these prerequisites which are needed for Windows 10 installation. I'm going to record it here. So if you see the hard disk which is present in the system, that is SDA, which is a type of DOS disk label. So we have to convert it to GPT, that is using G parted so going into the device. So create the partition table, select the partition table to GPT and then apply. So once this is done, exit from the gparted and check your F disk. So now the SDA has converted into GPT. So to go further, I am into the fdisk utility, P to display. I don't have any partitions, so press N to select the new partition. Say default at partition number 1 and 2048 the block. I'm going to select 550 megabyte. So it will ask me whether I can delete the signature which is previously present. I will say yes, and see the display. You will have the Linux file system. You need to change this type T and press 1 as discussed in the last video. So 1 stands for EFI file system. So EFI file system is 550M, and I will create another file system for Windows operating system to be installed. I would like to select the size as 350 GB. So if I print it, it will show me 350G as Linux file system. Now to change it, type T and the default is 2. That is, you have to change the Linux file system to type 11, which is Windows Basic Data. So Windows Basic Data has been changed. Now using these two, I can continue on installing Windows 10. Type W to write the partition table. So if I select F disk, you see that we have created two partition tables. So I have created 550 MB of EFI system because to ensure that in future if I want to install more operating system, the EFI bootloaders which are of size in few MBs, they can be accommodated in one file system, so that it the files will have proper storage, so that if I plan to install a couple of Linux operating system flavors and a FreeBSD, so these EFI bootloaders will reside in the EFI system partition. So there is no problem if I create a partition table of a 550 M partition size for SDA1, and it can accommodate my all needs. So creating the second partition Microsoft Basic Data which I have created at 350. This partition Microsoft Windows 10 operating system will be installed, and after installation of Windows 10 operating system, I will boot back into Linux Ubuntu, which I am currently operating from here, that is USB stick, just to convert the disk partition type from MBR to GPT, and then a couple of partitions. And I have already created a Windows installer in this USB drive. This is 8 GB, and you have to install Windows 10 ISO from Microsoft website. For this laptop, it is x86 64 bit, and you can flash this ISO into the USB using Rufus application on any Windows platform. So once you create this, the next stage will be, I will shut down this and replace Ubuntu USB stick with the Windows 10 boot. So I'm going to stop the video now and show you the next boot sequence. Thank you. Hi friends, this is Yogesh here. So continuing the video with Windows 10 operating system installation after creating 2 partitions on my hard drive. I'm powering off on the laptop again. And I'm trying to boot from the USB, which is Windows 10 installer. And here it is taken from the drive, so it is coming the first boot screen, and here I have to select the required options. The language I will be setting to English India. So I'll say install. So once you click install, I have to select custom install, because I have created my customized partitions, and before that it will ask me if for an activation of Windows. But here this is a downloaded ISO image from Windows from Microsoft website. Here what happens here is you need to buy a license or product key from a vendor, which I'm going to give you a link, and you can do it post install as well. So if you have already a product key, then you can key in, or else you just click I don't have a product key. So after complete installation, you can buy the product key from a vendor and key in to activate the Windows. So here I'll pause the video for a while and key in my retail product key for this copy. I just keyed in my product key, and now the next screen is I have to accept the license and say next. So here the important part is you have to select the custom install for an advanced user. So after you select the custom install, you can see there are 2 partitions which are already have been created using my Ubuntu Linux using gparted and the fdisk utility. So the first partition is always as I said before, to keep it as system partition, that is nothing but EFI partition, and the partition 2 is our Windows basic data, which is 350 GB, and it is already been selected here, and just say next. You can format it. I'll prefer to format it first to be on a safer side, so that I can delete all the stale data. So once it gets formatted, I'll say next, and it will start copying my Windows files. So here is the success. What I can see is it's copying the files from the USB, and it is installing the Windows. For a while I'll pause this video here until the complete setup happens, and I'll show you the final setup Windows screen at the end. So till then, have some snacks, sip a tea, and thank you. I'm waiting for this installation to complete. So after a couple of reboots and the installation of files and then selecting the particular drivers, the Cortana will pop up, and it will ask you to dictate on the voice commands, or you can take the control using the keyboard. So you have to set the keyboard to US and set up your Wi-Fi. So here the next screen will be set up for personal use or for an organization. So I'll be using this for my personal use. So it is always good to take help of Cortana. It will ask you to perform certain things where you can key in your Wi-Fi key so that you can access the updates and so on.
Then follow the instructions to sign in. I'll catch up with you once that's done.
So this is the Cortana which is helping me to set up the Windows. So if you have a Microsoft account which is been already created, you can key in here so that all your settings are taken care. What happens here is there are some email addresses like live.com, outlook.com, and I believe Hotmail. So these account domains can be used for your login, and that will be your login account. So after creation of all these accounts, I will show you the final screen where the Windows 10 setup is complete. So I'm pausing for now. So once you key in your email address from Microsoft owned domains, you can create a pin so that next time when you log in, you can have direct pin entry, and it is easy that if you enter the 4-digit pin or the number and any password, it is like easy, so you do not type your email address again and again. So I'll be generating a 4-digit pin. So it will take some time, and approximately from the formatting and creating the installation, it will take approximately 35 minutes depending on how fast you key in.
We'll send you a text to get everything set up. Just type your phone number and press send.
So if you want to add your phone number, you can add it, or you can skip this to do it later. So I will key in my phone numbers and the other personal information and show you the final screen of the completed installation. So till then, I'll pause this video. So after keying in my personal data, waiting patiently so that all the setup is been completed. So this is the screen which is taking some minutes to set up my personal account. It is taking the information from my email ID, where it is it's already stored the previous data from my previous installations, and it will set up accordingly the same wallpaper, the boxes and the files which I have stored on the cloud. So it will sync up everything onto this machine and make it easy to use, so that whatever I stored any data on the cloud, I will get it here. So that is the beauty of Windows 10 operating system, and everything is like cloud computing in practice today, and this helps a lot. So till then, waiting patiently to get the desktop screen now, and that will be my final installation part. And this is the first desktop screen after the installation, and the installation is complete. From here you can install your personalized applications and take control of the drive. So here what I have done is I have created EFI partition, a 350 GB Windows OS partition, and let the Windows installer take care of the rest of the stuff. It will create a 16 MB partition, which is Microsoft Resort partition, at the end of the Windows basic data partition after that. So what happens here is you need not worry about any prerequisites which will be taken care by the operating system. So further, I'm going to show you the next operating system, which is Linux, to be installed after Windows. So what I have to do is, after installing my apps and customizing the laptop with this Windows 10 operating system, which is the primary operating system for this laptop, this is a completed installation of Windows 10 now, and I have a complete operating system installed so that I can work with all my needed applications. So if you want to install Microsoft Office, you can buy it and key in the data and install it by downloading it from Microsoft.com and buying a product key, and your Office stuff is also ready. So just what I got it here is some of my data here, which is being synced from my previous system. So it will sync, and give it some time to configure, and it will download the updates from Microsoft so that you have the latest drivers installed for your system. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe Automotus Technica, and this will help me to create more videos, and it will motivate me to perform better with your comments. So here I am stopping this video. In the next video, let us see the installation of Linux operating system, where I am going to use Ubuntu Linux 18.04. Till then, stay blessed. Bye bye.